decimal points. All the one-on-ones are done except for Boris and Sakare. I just basically just told him what he experienced since we weren't able to hook up and do a one-on-one. But everyone else had their turn. And if you guys all recall, before the one-on-ones, you were all trying to subvert the Dominion's plans to steal the water. Otto Von was running this mission basically, and came up with all the plans for thwarting the Dominion. But before any of that could be pulled off, you guys were all kind of drawn to this chamber. This ancient chamber turned out to be the same ancient chamber that Dragthar had been in years prior when he encountered Piratesh and she imbued him with his powers, supposedly. As you all know, Dragthar has been very indoctrinated to the religion of Piratesh. He defends her at every opportunity. And you guys all entered this chamber, and you found Piratesh towering over this crazy weird artifact with a computer system in front of it, just like the same ancient computer system that you guys all encountered in the chamber where you restored the water to the solar planes. This huge like hologram spirit thing, image of Piratesh basically, shrunk down and invited you all closer, and then she put her hand on each of your heads and sent you all into a vision. She says she's going to grant you all the gift of memory. I've told a lot of you in your one-on-one sessions, I told you what happened at the end as she pulled her hand away. Some of you I forgot, so just real quick, we're going to start right there where basically you're coming out of your visions. And so that's where we'll pick up today. But first, let's go ahead and introduce everybody. As usual, I'm your host and DM, Chev. And then, let's see, who hasn't chosen a character? Let's see, we're missing... Okay, there we go. 6. I think that's right? Okay. That's right, because we don't have Boris. All right, so with us, we got Violet Agrippa, played by Bryn.
Hello.
Sam Blade, played by Rainbow.
Hello.
Audavon, played by Lepage.
Hello.
And Marina Vitae, played by Bunsen.
Hello, Governor.
And Elora Wakuda, played by Mirama.
Hello.
And then I think I said this before I started the stream, but we now have a person to play the NPC Dragthar, and that would be you want to go by Dan, right?
Yeah, that works.
Dan.
Hello.
As Dragthar. Welcome. You guys excited to do a group session for the first time in like a month?
Yeah.
What's D&D?
All right, so I got sick there, and I do still have a scratchy voice that seems to come in when I'm talking a lot, so I apologize if I lose my voice a bit, but it should be okay. Let's see. Let's go ahead and just get started. You guys are still in this chamber. Piratesh you're just waking up from your vision, and Piratesh pulls her hand off of each of your heads one by one, and she just says, "Thank you all. I hope you all enjoy your gifts of memory. They will help you in the future."
Can we get a map?
What? Oh,
Can we get a map?
it's right there in the chat. There you go.
Thank you.
And then she kind of shrinks down to more your guys' size. Oops. There we go.
Does a little spin.
Yeah, it does a little spin. It's just the hokey pokey, turns herself around. All right, so she shrinks down and she kind of comes down. She's still taller than the rest of you. She's still an imposing presence, but now she's a little bit more personable than this giant image towering over the top of this artifact thing. And she just says, "I hope these memories help you all appreciate where you came from, how you've got here, and gives you the strength to push forward to accomplish what I have tasked you all with." Does anybody say anything as they wake up?
I turn to Grandpa Willie and see him still next to me, and I feel like I'm in shock from what I had just felt.
Hey, Laura, are you all right? I don't know where I was for a minute there.
I put a hand on his shoulder. I said, "Grandpa, were you sent away too?"
I was transported to some other land. And
What
now we're
happened
back here.
when you were transported. What did you see?
Uh, I'm really ashamed just to talk about it, but apparently I was playing a part in a larger conflict where my kind, the humans, were subjugating the local population of elves, who apparently we despised. I tried to do my best to stop it, but then things got weird.
Yeah, the whole thing was like a bad acid trip, and I think we have more pressing issues to deal with at the moment.
So Dragtar is gonna say nothing, but just kneel before
Okay.
Pratesh.
I gotta turn PJ up here. There we go. Okay, so Dragthar kneels before Piratesh, and Piratesh takes note of this, and she looks at you, Dragthar, and she says, "Ah, Dragthar, you've been my faithful servant. Thank you for, I hope you enjoy the memories that I have given you of your people." And then she turns to the rest of you. "My time is coming due, and I must bid you all farewell. I hope that this helps you move forward. It has certainly helped me. I mean, I really enjoyed doing this for all of you." And then she blinks out of existence.
As she blinks out of existence, Dragtar will stand back up.
Okay.
So, Dragthar, and I wish to address the rest of you, but regardless of whatever wisdom we may divine out of these memories, it is my position that we still have a pressing task that we need to complete. Is there anybody who disagrees?
No, we don't have time to mess around anymore.
This is a quite remarkable chamber, but I agree with the Dominion is going to steal the water from Withelm if we don't act now.
Not if I have anything to say about it. So, Naya.
Yes,
I don't know how you need to get over to your contact over at the with the Goliath, and you need to speak to him.
You'll be pleased to know,
post-haste.
Audavon, I've already spoken to the Goliath General.
And what did he have to say?
He says that he is bound to teach those damn orcs a lesson.
Okay, and you told him to keep an eye on Kelthalat.
Yes.
Okay, excellent. So then my plan is to split up into two teams. We, at all costs, we must disable the equipment that the Dominion is using. And so that is going to be the task of everyone except for myself, Dragthar, and Violet. Dragthar and Violet, I'm going to need your special talents for a little mission that I'm going to be taking on my own. It's I'm going to warn you, it's going to be very dangerous, but if we are successful, we're going to set the Dominion back centuries.
Anything in service of setting the Dominion back, Audavon.
Excellent. So then you guys follow me. We're going to be going to the main chambers. I need to meet with my contacts and make sure that I understand the exact location of Queen Nerol. We're going to be looking out for Manoa, my friends Manoa and Horatio. We saw them earlier, and I need to bump into them again. Just make sure that everything is going as planned, and the rest of you set off down the tunnels with the wider pipes in it, and just cause as much havoc as you can.
Audavon. Queen Nero is been alerted to activity in the ancient chamber. You might want to leave.
Oh, okay. I just heard from Horatio. We need to get out of here now. Everybody, out. Queen Nero is heading this direction.
What's going on?
Why?
Queen Nero is...
Hold on. We were headed to sabotage the pumps that you claimed that the Dominion was building, but we don't know where to go from here. And then Naya pipes up and she just says, Audavon, I will help them. I've seen the pumps. I know where to go.
All right, you lead them, and take Dragthar and Violet with me here. So let's go.
All right.
And Audubon's gonna briskly take off across the bridge and use his communication link with Horatia to ask more specifically. Okay, where's the queen? You said she's heading this direction. Which tunnel is she taking?
You're asking this to Horatia?
Uh-huh.
Okay. And then and she just replies, the queen is headed down the chamber you arrived that your friends arrived from. She's been alerted to activity in the ancient chamber, although there are two ancient chambers now, and we've not encountered this second one, and she's checking that one first.
Excellent.
I gotta go. And then she, like, you just hear her voice, like, wink out.
Gotcha. And so Audubon's going to take sort of a roundabout route to get over to the third level of the main atrium. And he's going to lead Dragthar and Violet most of the way there. And he's going to stop about a mile before there where there's a split in the tunnels. And he's going to direct, and I'm going to give them some directions. I don't know if you want to start on Drag.
We can
I
start
don't know
with
if you want to start with Audubon. Okay.
Yeah. You should be able to see this map now.
Yep. Let me
Okay.
take a look.
So you're back at the junction that's above, right before the atrium.
Okay.
This is the hand-drawn one we did from last time.
Excellent. I believe it. If Dragthar's gaze is looking forward, it's the left tunnel that leads them to Kelthalat, right?
The right tunnel.
The right tunnel. I'm sorry.
So this way. The left tunnel is where you went to get to the ancient chamber.
Okay. So I'm going to turn to Dragthar and Violet, and I'm just going to address them and let them know. I'm about to do something that is very dangerous, borderline suicidal. And I can't have you with me. I need you both to set down this tunnel here on your right. You're going to run into an old wooden armory. Stay hidden. Do not let anyone see you. Find a good hiding spot. And this armory is left alone. There's not a lot of traffic there. It's a very sacred site of Queen Neral's Orcish berserkers. Only use it for duels. Stay out of sight until you hear from me. Is that understood?
Yes.
Yes, Audubon.
Excellent. All right. Well, I hope to see you again before I die. So I'll send them on their way. And before I enter the main atrium, I'm going to use Disguise Self, and I'm going to disguise myself as Queen Neral.
Okay, so let's go ahead and change your token real fast. I've got a Queen Neural token somewhere here. Where's the combat tracker at? There we are. Okay, Audubon. You are now Queen Neural.
Excellent.
You are a very short female kobold who constantly looks very grumpy, and you are wearing very ornate robes with like this like fluffy gold trim that kind of drags behind you.
Awesome. Awesome. Then I'm going to start just making a beeline for the third level of the atrium.
Okay. All right, so let's see here. All right, so it's an atrium, but it's underground, so there's no like skylight or anything. Do you want to describe what you're picturing the atrium as, PJ?
Yeah. So it's a big chamber, wide and open and relatively comfortable if you're looking at tunnels. And the highest level looks something akin to an office building. This is where administrators and military and the bourgeoisie of the entire Dominion are mainly live and work. The level below that is mostly like semi-importance, like kobolds, goblins, people who your basic middle class, and it's mainly residential area, mainly apartments and tunnels to different dwellings and things like that. And then the bottom atrium is
I
kind
just
of a
can't get
cross.
office building out of my head. I'm now picturing them all in suits and cubes doing work.
Oh, I picture a lot. I picture glass in a lot of areas, and rather than just earth walls and stuff like that. And
Okay.
then nice doors. It's kind of set behind the glassy, officey areas. There's doors to different, like large, ornate apartments. There's a tunnel to the royal chamber on the third level, and it's just kind of where like Nero and the nobles and her generals all meet and bump elbows. And then
Okay.
second is kind of where everybody else lives, and then third is where the peons live, the workers and everything like that. And it's also kind of a construction zone because of the work going on at the pumps. And it's if it were to ever flood, I think the engineers and the workers know who'd get wiped out first.
So this is that same room you're in where the pump is on the first floor down below.
Yes.
Okay, cool.
And so Queen Neral's gonna walk down, on the third level. She's there all the time, so she doesn't look out of place. And she's gonna look for any one of the 50 or 60 kobolds that Audubon's familiar with as part of her entourage. And they all have different names, and so there's, at any given opportunity, Queen Audubon as Queen Neral is going to find the first face that she recognizes and says, "Call a meeting of my generals.
Oh,
Post
yeah.
haste!"
Yes, Queen, right away! And the three kobolds within your vicinity immediately run around, kind of not knowing what to do. The generals, where are the generals?
Idiots, find them now!
they disappear into different tunnels.
And she's going to, wearing a cross look, step into her main conference room.
Okay. All right. So let's see. The main conference room is on the third level, right? So that's where her stuff is. Okay.
Huge room, rectangular, and her seat is pretty cushy, and it's at the head of the table. And we're talking about like a 30-foot long mahogany table with different what are they called? The little metal pieces with people's names on them. Like
plaque?
different,
Nameplate?
different placards.
Okay.
Where different generals and different people sit.
Okay. All right. So you enter this conference room and you wait for a little bit, and then eventually, you get this. What's the Goliath general's name again? Do you remember?
His name is on the tip of my tongue. It's a Frigat.
No, that's the orc general.
Oh, which general were you asking for?
The Goliath.
Oh, the Goliath general is Grotosh.
Grotosh, that's right. Okay, so after a while, Grotosh enters the room, and he just says, "I'm here, Queen Nero. You summoned me?"
Yes, sit down.
Right away. And he pulls up a chair, and the chairs are like small because the Goliaths don't normally come in here. It's more built for like kobolds and stuff, and so he kind of dwarfs this chair as he sort of tries to sit in it precariously.
Excellent. And she's gonna just sit there tapping her foot. Oh, those idiots better collect my generals or they'll end up in the pit.
Oh, we're waiting for the other generals.
Yes.
You might want to know I have a problem with Frigat.
Well, you might have to settle that problem. You're going to have to set that problem aside. May I remind you that you and yours are part of the Dominion.
Yes, Queen. Very well. I will set aside my personal issues. And then just as he says that, the general Frigat comes into the conference, followed closely by his second in command, the Lieutenant Pargle. And he takes a seat, and his second in command takes a seat next to him. Yes, Queen?
Ah, forgot. How are the berserkers doing?
Fine.
Well, I think it will please you to know that they will be feeding their swords and axes soon enough. We are looking to go to war with Wilhelm.
Oh, okay. All right. My men are ready, Queen. As are mine, Queen. The Goliaths
But-
are ready.
I must say that I do have some misgivings about your leadership. Forgot.
What did I do?
Well, it's not what you've done, it's what you haven't done. Grotosh here let me know that you have a grievance, that he has a grievance against you. No doubt due to the several different Goliaths that Pargol has fought and killed. Isn't that right, Grotosh?
Yes, Queen. That's correct. I thought we were setting that aside, but okay.
I expect you to set it aside, but forgot. I must wonder why it is Pargol and not yourself dispatching these Goliaths. Have you lost your taste for fighting?
I'm the general, Queen. I lead the orcs.
And
I-
I would
I-
expect you to
I lead
set a
them.
better-
You don't want me to be on the front lines.
Silence! Silence! I would expect a better and stronger example from somebody who calls himself the leader of the most dreaded of my shock troops.
Just as you're talking to them, this very ornately adorned kobold comes in alongside a goblin, and they both sit down in these chairs, and they're the generals of the goblin and kobold armies.
That said, Pargol, I believe you've been eyeing a promotion for a while, haven't you?
Yes, Queen, I have. I want to take the place of what's his name? Forgot. I keep forgetting his name.
Fair enough.
And forgot. I must ask, is there anything that you are going to do to prevent your underling from replacing you?
I
Oh,
can't allow this
I
to
must-
happen.
I must say the Dominion does not feel comfortable with the general of Orcish Berserkers hesitating to set an underling back in his place.
No, Queen.
will
I
not do at
challenge
all.
Pargol to a duel.
Oh! This seems a little overdue, I must say. And Pargol, what is your position?
I take the challenge. I claim the right. And he stands up out of his chair and he glares at
Well-
Forgot.
I believe we're going to have to call a brief recess.
Even the Queen recognizes that you're a failure for a leader. I want to take your place. Fight me.
Oh, I must say, we are going to have to call a brief recess until I know exactly who the generals who belong at this table are. Nobody leave. Everyone remain here. I have some business that I must attend to. And you, Forgot, Pargol, settle this. And with that, Nero,
Like
Queen
you want
Nero
us to
is
duel right here?
in your fashion. Have you ever fought a duel in my conference room?
I never fought a duel. No one's ever challenged me before, Queen. Everyone just does what I say. You made me their general. They don't want to incur your wrath. We haven't had anyone make the right of challenge in almost 100 years.
I seem to remember Orcish disputes being settled at the Armory of Kelthalot. Is that still a tradition that you treasure?
Very well, Queen. Come, Pargol. I will put you down in the armory. Okay. Let's move on to you, the rest of you guys, real fast. I need to delete some of these paintings here. Give me 1 second. Uh-oh. I don't know which layer they're on. You know what? I'm going to delete all the paintings and redraw. And then we'll go ahead and take the mask off here too. Let's see, we'll put you guys up here. Actually, let me draw a fresh room, because I didn't realize that this room was the same room when you told me the atrium, because I had never called it the atrium. And so let's see if we can make this work. So then that's level 1 down here, and then I've got to put a tunnel. Okay, and then okay, and then up here is level 2. All right, so the conference room that you're in is going to be off to the side here. Erase some of this for an entrance, okay? And then I'm going to put you guys in the conference room. Audubon, and then I don't have tokens for the generals in there, so just pretend for now. And then Dragthar and Violet. I assume you guys are just waiting outside of the conference room, trying to stay out of sight.
We were told to go to the site where the duel's going to be, and like hide in there.
Okay,
So
cool.
Yeah, I would. Dragthar would have followed
Perfect.
Yeah.
Audubon's
Okay. I
instructions.
forgot
to-
that he said to do that. Hold on one
Yeah.
sec. Let's
so we're probably at least gonna roll a stealth check.
yeah. Okay. The armory is a big circular room inside of a larger circular room. I couldn't find good maps for these, so we're just drawing them. Sorry, guys. Thanks for waiting.
you're fine.
No worries.
Okay.
Just the fact that we have maps rather than having to stick to theater of the mind is a nice thing.
Good. Okay. I'll grab your tokens, put you down here. Okay, so the armory is this little circle right here. Can you guys all see that?
Yeah.
Okay. So in there is basically kind of this, it's almost sort of like a temple for these guys, I guess, but it's also full of just like ritual weapons and stuff. And there's a little ring for fighting in the middle there. And so they're going to come in there to fight most likely, according to the Queen's instructions. So there is various, let me just draw some circles to represent. There's like various just barrels and debris and stuff like everywhere, just equipment, boxes of equipment and stuff all over. So you guys are pretty easily able to hide among stuff all around this room, just outside the Kelthalot. Is it Quelthalot or Kelthalot, PJ?
Help a lot. There's no U.
Okay, Kelthalot is the name of the armory, the temple. Okay, so you guys feel free to hide wherever you would be in relation to that room. And then let's go ahead and jump over to the rest of you guys. Let's see. I wonder if I can do this.
Remain kind of nearest Dragthar just because I'm not very tanky and, you know, back up.
Okay. Apparently I lost all your tokens.
Oops.
Yeah, I tried to drag them
Find
from
them.
one map to the other, and apparently that's not a thing. So we're going to leave Sakare and Kelgion and just pretend they're there in the background. And I'll bring Naya, Elora, Marina, Sam, Grandpa Willie, and Violet. Okay, so you guys have made your way into this chamber, which is now cleared as everyone has gone to find the queen and call this meeting. And a bunch of guards have amassed themselves outside the conference room. Where were you headed after you left them in the conference room, Audubon?
So my goal is to get to the Kelthalot without being recognized as the queen. So I'm gonna find a little alcove to duck into, disguise self as just a random kobold noble.
Okay.
Somebody that is a little bit on the edges
Okay.
in terms of notoriety, and just kind of quietly work my way in the direction of the armory.
I'm going to have all three of you, Violet and Dragthar, roll stealth checks when we come back to you, but for now you're okay. So while all this is going on, Sam, wait, why did I put Violet there? Damn it.
I was
Yeah.
kind of wondering why.
Sorry. I screwed up. Okay. All right, so Grandpa Willie, Sam, Alora, Naya, and Marina. Naya leads you guys into this atrium area and leads you down to the first floor in the middle of this basically just kind of giant excavated cavern that they call the atrium. And down below, you see this huge metal contraption with all sorts of pipes and stuff coming off of it, and some weird wires and stuff. And you see this giant, huge, like aqueduct pipe that comes straight out the front of it and heads down a corridor that's right at the east side of the atrium there. And that's the pipe that Naya and Audubon followed along to find their way to the Solar Springs natural water flow or waterway. And so this was meant to siphon off that water if the water had not been turned off prematurely. Okay, and then Naya just turns around and she says, "This is it. This is the pump. We don't know how to sabotage it, but this is what they plan to use to take the water from Withelm."
Just to very catch up really fast. Did we turn off the water to get back here, or did we find another way down here?
You turned the water on when you were in that chamber a few episodes back.
I was curious, we turned it off to get down here, or we found another way?
You're in the Dominion now. You came through the Dominion tunnels, but that pump heads through Dominion tunnels all the way out of Dominion territory and into the mountains behind Withelm, where the water is. It's like miles long. This pipe. So it was all the way there to try and steal the water from Withelm. They were kind of hoping to siphon some of it off without ever even being noticed, but then the water got turned off somehow by that damaged computer.
Can I tell if there's currently water running through this?
You go ahead and roll an investigation check.
All right, first check of the session.
Yep, I didn't realize that.
Can we see the inside of this pipe, or is it like going underground?
So this pipe comes straight. So there's this machine that's kind of just big and square right there. You can imagine it's got a bunch of wires and different like components on it that just use your imagination. But then there's a big pipe coming out the front of it, and it goes down this corridor. And the pipe is not. I mean, you're all underground. You're in Dominion territory underground in Dominion tunnels, and so this
Can you
pipe.
link the map again? Sorry.
Oh yes. Can you see that?
Yes.
Okay. And so this huge pipe goes straight down that corridor and heads miles into the Withelmian territory, basically.
I thought this was just like a large opening.
No, sorry, that's the machine or the pump. I'm just gonna. I don't have a paint bucket, so scribbles are me pretending to paint in a area.
It probably looked like an opening because we don't see the line on the left side.
Oh, you don't?
Nope. It looks like a rectangle with the side missing.
Oh, it's a square. That's weird. I'll draw it again. Did that do it?
No.
What? Okay. Did that do it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, that's a bug. It's a full square on my side. I used the square tool. So, I don't know. Anyway, it's a box. It's a solid box. It's pretty huge. In fact, it goes vertically up past the second floor, almost all the way to the ceiling of the third floor. So around, it's like you guys are kind of in a bowl, basically. There's a second level, and in fact, let me see. Can I? Is it this painting? No. I hate these layers. I don't know which layers these lines are drawn on. There we go. Okay, so this kind of comes down like this. This is a ramp. You guys came down from the third level, down this ramp.
Okay.
So like
We're now on the
this.
first level?
Yeah, you guys came all the way down right here. You passed the conference room, and you're in there. I probably should have read stealth checks, but that's okay. Naya knew the way, and she knew what to wait for. So you guys are now on the first level. Yes, there's some random kobolds running around, working on this pipeline. They see you, but nobody's harassing you, so they assume you're supposed to be here. But none of the other royal guard or the queen or anyone is here to see you. So anybody who would be upset at your presence is not present.
So I'm investigating. I assume I approach probably around this side. I rolled an 8 for investigating. If I could tell
Okay.
whether or not there's water currently going through here.
Okay, you don't. The machine's not making any noise or anything. You can't tell for sure if there's water or not. It's not obvious.
If I keep investigating around the side to over here, can I tell?
It's just solid pipe. It's all connected together. So if there's water in it, you can't tell.
Can
I
put
cast
my
a
ear up?
message on Mirma and say, use your pickaxe.
On Mirama?
Not, well, how do you say blue girl's name?
Laura?
Oh, the blue
Elora.
girls.
Marina.
Yeah, Marina.
Oh.
Sorry, what were you saying, Bunsen?
What if I put my ear up to the pipe?
Sure. Roll me a perception check.
Great. 6.
You can't tell. You put your ear up against basically a metal pipe, and you don't hear anything.
I don't need to see water to try to U-shape water on, do I?
I would think that you would need to see it.
Let me check. You choose an area of water you can see within range. All right. Because I was wondering if, like, on a technicality, I didn't have to see it to manipulate it. It's like, no.
You do.
Is
Grandpa
it
Willie walks up behind it and he just says, this thing looks pretty sturdy. What do you think, young Elora?
I want to investigate to see if it looks like there's any obvious ways to enter the pump.
Enter the pump?
Okay.
Yes.
You roll me an investigation check.
In the meantime, can I investigate the opening over here?
Sure. You can roll me an investigation check, I suppose, too, again.
2.
Okay. So you're able to squeeze on the sides of the pipe that goes through that corridor. It's just wide enough for people to walk up beside it, but it's not really convenient. And it seems like it continues this way for miles. The pipe just winds through this tunnel, and the tunnel looks specifically built for the pipe. And Elora, you walk around the pump, and you notice a little door that's about the size of one of those little kobolds. And it doesn't have a handle or anything on it. It's just smooth, a smooth, like, door-shaped line.
Okay, I walk back over closer to my grandpa, and I tell him and the other 3 that are there, or the other 2 that are right there, I tell them about the door that I found.
Okay. And Grandpa Willie says, a door? I wonder if this is where the kobold maintenance engineers or whatever work on this thing.
I think if we can find a way inside the pump, we can disable it pretty quickly.
I agree. Naya, do you think that that we can find a way inside? How do we open the door? And Naya just says, I don't know. I've seen the pump before, but I don't know anything about its construction.
So where did you say the pump was or the door was on this pump?
It's on this side.
Okay. So I'm going to go back over to the door, and I want to do an even closer examination to see if there's any thing that plugs in, or any buttons, or any sort of anything that could be used to open the door.
Okay. Roll me a perception check.
In the meantime, I'd like to rejoin the group over here.
Okay. Okay. So after messing with the door, do you touch the door? Or are you just looking at it?
I do
Okay.
touch the door with my hand.
Okay. So eventually, after a while, you push on the door enough, and you feel it push back about an inch. And then it kind of feels loose to you.
Oh. I look back towards Marina and sort of point to how the door opened a little bit. I think I found a way inside the pump.
Great. Allow me to go in case there's any water.
Okay, I take a step back.
Okay. So the door is still there. It's just now depressed in from the surface of the wall of the pump about an inch or 2.
I'd like to try pushing on it.
Okay. You push on it, and it doesn't budge.
I would like to use my ring of telekinesis to pull the door back.
Okay. Excuse me. Okay. So you go ahead and is that cost a charge or something on
No,
your
it's
ring?
just at will. I can do that whenever.
It's a cantrip. Okay.
Yeah, the only cost is that, or the only downside is I can only use it on objects that aren't being worn or carried.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So you're able to pull this door, and it pulls forward a couple inches back into place, and you just hear it click.
I can lift like up to 1,000 pounds. Can I try pulling on it harder?
Roll me a performance check.
Chev, when he's not sure what kind of check, make a performance check.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the ring of Yoda?
You are you're not quite able to pull the door any more than you already have. It's pretty stuck.
Alright, I'd like to try pushing using telekinesis.
Okay, it immediately slides back the 2 inches again.
Can I try twisting it with telekinesis?
Yes. So now, as you try and apply the force left and then right, the door starts to slide to the right into a slot that seems designed for it.
Oh, I was trying to twist it.
What do you mean twist it?
Like, in on the right, out on the left, or something like that.
Oh, okay. Well, during this process, you realize that it's sliding to the right.
Oh, well, use telekinesis to slide it to the right then.
Okay. All right, and as you do, the door pops open, and there's a light inside. There's clearly some lantern or something lit inside, and this kobold operating some controls turns around, and he goes, "What? What are you doing?" Who are you?
My name is Sarah. I am the pipe inspector. I was asked to inspect these pipes for the queen.
The pipe inspector. Roll a deception check.
That was amazing.
Oh, your first good roll. The pipe is, of course, the pipe inspector. Please.
You wouldn't want the queen to get angry, would you?
No, please investigate. Do what you have to do. I don't want to hear from the queen.
Very well.
I want to whisper into Marina's ear before she goes in, like, we need to get him out of there.
Very well. You know what? This inspection might take a little while. Why don't you go take a lunch?
If I leave my post, the queen will be very mad at me. Can't you just
don't
inspect
worry.
it while I'm here?
After I'm done inspecting it, I'll cover for you until you come back. Don't worry.
Roll a persuasion check.
12.
I have to I have to keep my post. I don't know who you are.
I told you, I'm Sarah. I'm the pipe inspector.
I understand that you're the pipe inspector, but I don't think you have the authority to relieve me from my post.
I want to tap on Marina's shoulder to kind of try to push past her a little bit.
Alright, I'll allow you to pass.
Okay.
Step aside.
All right, you have to kind of bend down to get through this little doorway, and then in there is a room full of just all sorts of controls and like little maintenance dials and stuff, measuring like pressure and things like that.
Okay, I want to try to cast Hold Person on the Cabal.
Oh, okay. All right. Let's see. Let's get a kobold here out of the NPCs.
Do I know that you're about to do this? Did you, like, tip me off?
No, I didn't say anything. I just kind of went in there, and if it's successful, I'm gonna try to hold him. And if it's successful, I want to immediately turn back and say, "Now let's go before I can't hold on any longer."
Okay. There you go. You should be able to cast Hold Person on him now.
Okay.
Would I know what hold person is?
You should
I
roll
did that
for it.
right.
You see
Oh
that.
no, it's a failure.
Uh-oh.
Oh no.
Oh no, they
Wait,
failed.
no,
That says
it's a
fail for
save.
the kobold.
Yeah, the kobold failed.
Oh, he failed. Okay, never
Yeah,
mind.
your DC is 15.
So he is now. You can hit that second button to paralyze him now.
Okay. And do I also do that over his character, his little thing?
Yeah, it'll apply the effect to him. There you go.
Nice.
Do I know what Hold Person is as a character?
I would say since this has semantic components, he's gonna obviously see me doing something to cast this on the kobold.
Yeah, so you would recognize
Also,
it from that, and then also you did grow up around Withhelm and the wizard advisors, so you might know.
Okay. Because I don't know if I know whether or not that would make someone unable to, for example,
Roll a
call
history
for
check.
help.
We'll let the dice decide.
Would that be our Arcana check?
No, this is for knowledge that you have, like you know of.
Okay.
Hold person.
Is the kobold now laying on the ground, or is he standing
Okay.
up?
You have no
Up
idea
there.
what this spell is. You just see Alora casting something.
What's the kobold doing? Is he laying on the ground, or is he standing up? And not able to-
You tell me, Alora. What did you do? What are you doing with the kobold?
You said he was at a terminal. He was sitting down at a terminal, right?
Well, he's standing at it, and he turned
Okay.
around to talk to you guys. So his back is to
Then
the
he would
terminal.
be frozen in that exact position.
Okay. Okay, so he's
So
frozen in place. Can he talk if he's paralyzed?
No, he's
Okay.
totally.
So,
Yeah.
so he's just.
I'm gonna pat him on the head and go, "Shh, this is just a medical test."
All right. With that out of the way, I would like to enter as well and see what I can see regarding pipe control stuff.
Okay, there's a bunch of levers. There is panels that have not yet been completed. It looks like they're still building stuff in there. But there's a few dials that look like they're monitoring pressure or something. It's hard to tell what everything does.
Can I read anything?
No, there's nothing really to read. There's nothing's been labeled or anything. It's just you just see random levers and dials everywhere.
Does a pipe run through here?
So there is, as you guys walk in, Sam, you're actually not able to stand there. Let me draw a little box here. Hopefully this draws an actual square. Can you see the square?
No.
Yeah, it's just not. I was just missing the left side again.
Again, that's so weird. Even while it's blue, huh?
Now it's blue and missing the left side.
That's so bizarre. Okay.
We see the left side.
I drew a line. Does that work?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
I feel
So.
weird because it looks fine for me.
Oh really? Yeah, that's weird. Yeah, the clients get weird little bugs like that where they don't sync up. Anyway, this there's like this area where you can't walk to because it's just contains a bunch of stuff, but it looks like kind of a box, and then inside you can kind of see it's kind of a hollow box. There's no like roof on it, and so you see the pipe come out of the wall here. So this huge pipe, and then it's kind of just a big elbow joint going straight into the ground. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay.
So this whole box is pipage, basically.
No, just right here. The pipe comes in through this wall and then basically goes a 90-degree angle down into the ground. And
Yeah,
then
the blue box is entirely pipage as well.
oh yeah, the blue box. Sorry. And then
Right,
everything
well-
else is full of just weird controls and contraptions.
I have a bright idea. I'm gonna say to my allies, all right, you should maybe leave here just in case. I'm gonna do something very, very delicate. I'm gonna take out my pickaxe.
I am gonna place a ration on top of the little kobold's head and go, "This is for you after."
All right,
I'm going to step back out of the room while still holding my concentration on keeping the kobold paralyzed.
Okay. All right. So you step out.
Sam, do you also step out?
Yeah, I'm gonna step out after I place the food neatly on his head so it stays up there.
Okay. What kind of food is it?
It's a ration. I don't know.
It's a ration. Like, is it bread? Is it meat? Like, what is it?
What kind of rations do we have?
It's up to
Probably
you.
like bread and mostly bread, I'd say.
It's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich.
Okay. Okay, there is a precariously placed peanut butter and jelly sandwich balancing on the kobold's head.
Hope he's not allergic to peanut butter.
All right, what are you doing, Marina?
I'm going to start hitting at the pipage with my pickaxe.
Oh boy. All right. Go ahead
Well, I
and.
figure like if it's gonna burst out with water, I can immediately freeze it. Be safe.
Okay. All right. So you go ahead and roll a athletics check, I guess.
All right. This is gonna be great. There's nothing could possibly go wrong. Oh, that was almost
Because the pipe is like round, it like glances off as you try to hit it, and you kind of lose your balance for a sec.
oh, can I try again?
Sure.
All right, roll again.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna give myself guidance this time.
Okay.
I forgot that's something I can do. Oops.
But while he does that, I cast message on the Cobalt in his own voice. I go, everything's fine. This is supposed to happen.
You're not even, no, you're not even in here anymore.
I can be able to look in through the
Alright,
door.
so that's a 17.
Okay. All right. So this time you hit it and you manage to dent the pipe a little bit.
Alright. I'm gonna attempt to hit the same spot.
Okay. One more roll.
I'm also gonna use guidance again.
Okay.
Whoa.
Okay, so this time you jam your pickaxe in there and it gets stuck. You manage to puncture the surface of the pipe, but it gets stuck in the pipe.
Can I try to yank it out?
Yep, you can.
Alright.
Roll
is that
another athletics check. Yep.
Alright, with guidance again. Natural 20.
Alright, so you rip this pickaxe straight out of the pipe and fall backwards a couple feet because you just with raw strength you just pull it out. You almost lose your balance, and then you look back at the pipe and there's now a puncture in the pipe and there's clearly nothing coming out of it.
Oh. I'd like to hit the hole some more. Try and widen it.
Okay. You can tell by now though that there's no water in there or anything.
Yeah, I was
the
gonna
way.
widen it so that I could like poke my head and just take a look.
Okay. We'll skip the rolls and just fast forward and say that you've done that. You've now widened the hole. Probably takes about 20 minutes for you to do that because it's pretty strong material that's holding this pipe together. But yeah, eventually you're able to put your head inside. It's completely dark. You can't see anything except for what the light coming from the little lantern inside this maintenance chamber is lighting up, and you just see the inside of an empty pipe. And it goes straight down.
Yeah. I have a great idea. So I'm gonna poke my head out the door over here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna ask Laura. How much longer are you able to do hold person?
So I look to her and I say, not much longer, and you can kind of see my arms starting to get a little tired as I'm concentrating, because I kind of hold them up so I can have my crystal close to my face.
I'm gonna go back in. I'd like to compare the size of the kobold to the size of the hole I just made.
He will fit.
I'm going to say to him, listen, it's nothing personal, but I'm going to try and pick him up. I am going to drop him down.
Okay, and then Alora, do you let go?
Yeah, as soon as Marina leaves him or lets him go in the hole, I release concentration.
Okay, and then suddenly he's flailing around. You let him go, right? You're not holding him, Marina?
Yes.
Okay. He's flailing around. No! Cling, 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 cling. And he just disappears into the darkness.
It's like when Link. It's like in A Link to the Past when Link falls down a pit. Just.
I can't believe Marina just did that.
Yeah, that's the most cold-blooded shit she's ever done right there.
Listen, sometimes we need to make tough decisions in the interest of saving.
But what did that even accomplish, Marina?
What did it
and I
accomplish
kinda-
was not alerting the guards to our presence here.
I put my hand out towards my grandfather, and I just to pat him on the back. It's like sometimes we're gonna need to make difficult choices here, Grandpa.
Oh, I
That's what
don't
I
mind
just
that
said.
we killed the kobold scum. I just wanted to know the logic.
Well, if he's not here, then he can't call for help and alert everyone else.
Okay, very well. I thought maybe you were trying to
Uh,
test where the pipe led to.
Also, just in case anyone heard that yell, maybe everyone should come in here for a second.
I come in and I
Does Naya come in too?
Yeah, Naya comes in.
I'm gonna
We
close
have
the
to
door.
hurry. We have to finish sabotaging this place. I'm afraid just a hole in the pipe isn't going to be enough. I agree. We've got to completely demolish all these control panels or something. That will take them time to rebuild.
I pull my sleeves up a little bit and I say, I think between all of us, we could easily do some serious damage here. And I cast Acid Splash on some random piece of electronics.
Okay. All right. So the acid comes out of your fingertips, palm. Like how does it? What does it look like?
It sort of just materializes as I put my hand forward.
Oh, okay. So acid just materializes at the location.
Yes.
Okay. So acid just bubbles up on the top of this panel and starts to melt away controls and dials, and it seeps inside the cracks, and you just hear it just melting inside with like a mist of steam or whatever coming out of the cracks of these panels.
Steam?
Just whatever vapor comes off of this acid as it disintegrates it.
Oh. I was like,
It's
why is
computer
water in
dust.
there?
Don't breathe it in.
It's the magic blue smoke that makes the computer work.
So how big would you say this room is? 15 foot?
Let's see. It is.
Sam, please don't do something.
It's 35 feet long. It's 35 feet by 20 feet.
All the important stuff is on one end of the room?
What? Sorry?
Is all the important stuff on this end of the room over here?
Over here. So this is the pipe. I was on the blue square, and then everywhere else you're surrounded by control panels. I can draw them if you really want to know.
In the meantime, I'd like to press my ear up to the door and listen for any commotion, if any.
Oh, perfect. I turn to the people and go, okay, guys, I think you need to leave the room for a few minutes. At least 15 feet away.
Just a moment. I'm listening.
Oh dear, and he walks out the door.
Wait, I'd
Probably
like to-
just get ducks
I'd
out.
like to stop Willie from leaving. I'm listening if there's any commotion.
Oh, that character that you guys let follow you around is about to do something. I don't want to be in there.
Just a moment. I need to hear if there's like any guards coming.
Very well. Please hold off from murdering all of us.
And I press my ear up and I try to listen.
To the pipe?
No, I'm holding my ear up to the door if I can hear any commotion.
Oh, you closed the door?
Yeah, the door's been closed.
Oh,
I got
okay.
everyone in here in case guards were to investigate the crime
Okay.
for help.
All right, roll a perception check.
All right, I would like to apply guidance to this.
Okay.
My dice
Okay.
is covering that. That's 13.
Okay, you don't hear anything. It doesn't seem like anyone's coming your way.
All right, I think the coast is clear. Let's let them do their thing.
All right, I'm out of here. And he leaves. And then Naya follows close behind you guys.
I am going to cast Thunder Wave level 2.
Okay. Go ahead and roll the damage.
Yeah, it's very inconspicuous.
It's at 3d8s. What's the d8? That's the pure double diamond one?
You should just have it on your
Double
sheet.
Whoa. Okay, he just cast Thunder Wave.
Yeah.
Okay, just read that spell over. I mean, far be it from me to like
He
cause
didn't-
problems for.
He didn't say what he was doing to anyone else, so nobody can stop him.
No, I'm just saying. Keep in mind the spell emits a thunderous boom audible out to 300 feet.
Yep,
Yes.
that's why I said very conspicuous.
No metagaming, PJ. This is.
No,
this is-
I'm not metagaming. I'm just like.
I mean, you are.
No, I'm not.
He's making an
I'm
observation
not
that
saying,
this
are
is-
you sure you want to do that? I'm just saying, let's not forget what the results are.
He was just observing that that was a stupid move.
Okay.
Okay, so what did the damage do?
All right. So you guys are outside. Did you guys close the door behind you as you left?
I don't think we did.
assumed
No.
Okay.
I was going to assume that
Uh-oh.
Sam was going to like place an explosive and leave.
Okay, so the you guys are standing on the outside and you watch as the walls just completely bulge outwards, just like like a big piece of popcorn. It just kind of just it's now weirdly shaped as all these metal walls are bowing out in every direction, and all the panels and everything inside are just completely like turned into debris and they're just scattered everywhere. Components and the whole thing is just completely destroyed. Also, the elbow joint of the pipe pops off of the wall there, and kind of is just leaning now on the ground. You can see the hole straight into the ground, and it just goes off into the distance. You don't know how far down it goes, but clearly pretty far since that kobold just disappeared into nothing.
All right, I'm
I'm
gonna step
like-
outside and I'm gonna turn into that cobalt, except for I'm gonna be covered in like a bomb just went off.
You said you're a kobold now?
The same cobalt we
Kobold.
dropped down the hole,
Okay. 1 second.
but I'm kind of bruised up a little bit, and it looks like a bomb went off, and I have like pseudo over me.
Okay. All right. Did you change before you come out, or did you come out and then change?
I came out and then changed so they know what's going on.
Okay. All right. So you guys watch as this little mini Piratesh turns into a kobold that looks like a bomb just went off in his face.
Now, over here, is that rocks?
That is just a
Like big
generic background I have used, but sure, there's rocks. You're
I,
underground
I
after all.
point to them and I go, hide behind that rock.
I'm clutching my ears from being very close at Thunderwave, and I go, what?
I got a message, so she hears it, and I go, hide behind that rock, and I point to it.
I nod and I go over.
Oh dear. As he walks over to behind the rocks. Laura, do you follow?
Yeah.
Okay, and then Naya also. What are we doing now?
I cast message and I go, shh. Someone's gonna be coming, sure of it.
And yeah, sure enough, 2 guards come running down the ramp. What the hell happened? And then this 2 orcs and this other orc comes down, and he says to the other one, he just says, "We better get the queen. I don't want to get the queen. You get the queen." And they start arguing.
Do I see them? Where are they?
They're not on the map, but they're right here. They're standing next to this
I,
mess.
I went up to him and go, oh, good thing you're here. That Autobahn was here, and he blew up this whole thing.
Autobahn.
And bird watching society.
Autobahn. The queen
Yeah.
is going to be furious. Go tell her. No, you go tell her.
He was laughing like a madman. I don't know what got into him.
They both turn and they look at you and they each grab you by the shoulder, and they roll grapple checks. Go ahead and roll against their grapple. You can choose acrobatics or athletics.
That's just in skills, right?
Uh-huh.
So they're about the same.
Okay, so they grab you, and they hold you by either arm, and they just they get this grin on their face, like, "You're gonna tell the queen," and they start to drag you up the ramp.
Okay.
Bye, Sam. We hardly knew you.
And they drag you up to this 3rd floor, and they can't seem to find anything. Let's go ahead and jump back over to you guys, Autovan. Actually, all 3 of you, Autovan, Violet, and Dragthar. Stealth checks, please.
Okay, can we go back a second to where Queen Nerol was leaving the meeting? I kind of outlined what my overall strategy was, but I never actually did anything.
Yeah, I haven't. You're still in the conference room.
Still in the conference room. Now, is this prior to everything that happened just a second
Correct.
ago?
Yes.
Okay.
Good
I'm
roll,
not really
Violet.
good at hiding. This thing's been after me for 3 weeks now. I'm actively kind of mad.
So am I rolling the stealth check, or am I still in the conference room?
Well, you said you were changing back from the queen to Autovan, right?
No, I didn't. So
You said you were gonna duck into a place and change. I remember.
Yeah, you change
Yeah.
him like another cobalt.
Yeah, so that was my initial plan, but then I realized that I had invisibility. So
Oh,
I
okay.
want to still duck into a place, but instead of trying to change into a different kobold, I'm just going to try and make myself invisible.
Okay, so you're pretty easily able to duck behind some rocks sticking up off the floor in front of one of the walls of the corridor that you're in, and you're able to go invisible.
Okay. Then with that invisibility, I am going to try to catch up to the orcs as they start heading in the direction of Kalthalat.
Okay. All right, let's go ahead and get a couple NPCs for them so that we can make this work properly. Okay, and then one is spell Pargle for me.
Pargl.
Okay, with apostrophe.
No.
Okay. What's his armor class?
Like 18 or 19.
Okay, that's what I thought. All right, and then same thing for forgot.
Yep.
Okay, let me find a good token for an orc. Oh, come on. Fantasy Grounds. There we go. Okay. We'll do... These aren't orcs. These are half orcs.
What?
There we go. I found one. Okay, so we got Pargle, and then I'm just going to duplicate Pargle. And make him forgot. Okay. Put these guys in the combat tracker there. All right. They've made their way down here into the armory. And then you said you're going to catch up to them, and you are now invisible, right?
Yep.
Okay. I guess there's probably no reason. Well, I still want you to roll a stealth check, but do it with advantage since you're invisible. Because you could
All
still make noise or trip or some,
Okay, give me 1 second to remember how to do that.
Just hit
Let's
the
see.
ADV button in the bottom left and roll a stealth check.
Oh, bitchin'.
Nice.
All right. We're in
Okay.
good shape.
You're able to slip down there pretty easily. Are you still the queen invisible, or...
Yeah, I don't see any reason to change out of her yet, so I'm still invisible. I'm still the queen underneath.
Okay, and then you get another message as you get down there that says, Autovan, the queen is headed to the atrium to check out some damage that is occurring. Just so you know.
And I'm gonna just say, I'm gonna acknowledge. Acknowledge.
All right, Manoa out. Then Manoa's voice just disappears.
Okay, so as I step into the armory, I'm immediately gonna start looking for Dragthar and Violet.
Okay, roll an investigation check.
Okay.
Okay.
Decent, but not great.
Yeah, you go to look around and immediately spot Violet, who's poking out of top a bunch of crates, looking.
It's the witch's hat.
Yeah, her witch's hat has popped up straight out from behind some crates. She thinks that she's stealthy, but clearly not. She's easily seen.
Oh, wait, it's a witch.
Yeah. Are the two orcs fighting yet?
So no, they're over here trying to gather up weapons and supplies. They're like
Gotcha.
arming themselves, basically.
So I'm gonna cast message.
Okay.
And reach out to Violet, and I'm gonna whisper, "Hey, this is Autovan. I'm invisible. You are not. Your hat is showing. Get your hat away."
It's my hat. Just the Chad's sound, and then you just see the hat go down.
Okay. All right, Pargle,
Yeah.
you're going down. You were always my favorite second in command, but I will not heed this challenge.
And I'm gonna cast message. I'm gonna say, once they start fighting, you and Dragthar sneak towards the exit. Do not be spotted.
A bunch of orcs come down the corridor, and a couple Goliaths too, and they're just watching this all go down over here on the left. I'll just, rather than waste time trying to find tokens, I'll just draw some red circles. So there's 3
Okay.
orcs and 2 Goliaths who've come down to watch this fight. And that center
3
part,
orcs.
has like a fence around it, but it's got like it's like bars around it basically, so you can easily see inside the arena.
Gotcha. Okay. So, and then are there the doors to the armory behind them?
Yeah, the doors are that corridor on the left where you came in from.
Okay. So then, as I
They-
see them start, oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say they've locked themselves into the arena.
Gotcha. Let's see. So, wow, that is going to be interesting. So, as these 2 guys start to fight, I'm gonna cast Minor Illusion and try to make it sound like a bunch of things collapse behind on the other side of the arena, opposite the exit.
Over here.
Yep.
Okay. All right.
As Audubon does that, I presume I can see him casting this, or hear
Yes.
the response, or hear the. So I'm gonna use.
Oh yeah, you can't see him; he's invisible, but you do hear it. Yes.
Okay, right. Would I know it's him casting it, or would I assume? Do you think?
No, you wouldn't know. I mean, you could make that assumption. If
Okay.
you think Drakthar would make that assumption, then I will allow it.
Okay. No, I don't think he would make that assumption actually. So.
Has Violet said anything to him yet?
Yeah, that's the. I don't think I've actually been in contact with you. You said you messaged Violet,
Right.
Yeah.
so.
Yeah, I couldn't see you to message you, so Violet was all I had.
I'm going to turn in as quietly as possible, like, just kind of whisper, like, "Hey, B, I'm pretty sure that was that was the sound Audubon made, and some people are probably gonna go that way, and the attention's being drawn away from us. We need to sneak back to the entryway."
Okay. So yeah, so that's the sound of crashing and stuff. It echoes from that side of the room, even though nothing has actually crashed. And immediately forgot, and they haven't started fighting yet. Or were you waiting for them to start fighting before you cast it? Audubon?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So Forgot takes it the first swing with his huge broadsword at Pargle, and Pargle dives out of the way, being a lot nimbler than Forgot and also younger. And Forgot just says, "You can't get away that easy." And then Pargle says, "You're old and slow." And he dives out of the way, kind of does a little roll, and then stands up and takes another swing. And then this crashing sound happens. And immediately, all of the orcs and Goliaths over there say, "What was that?" And they start heading around the arena.
And I'm gonna cast message on Violet again. I'm gonna say now.
I'm kind of just gonna go, "Come on, Dragthar, this way." And I guess we're just gonna. Are we gonna roll another stealth check or?
Yes, yeah, stealth checks, please.
And I'm gonna cast silence in the area between the inner circle and the outer circle. I'm not quite sure how long of a distance that is, but
Use hold both your mouse buttons down, and you can draw a line like this, an arrow.
oh, gotcha. So yeah, from about the inner circle down to over to that, those 25 feet, because I think silence is a 25-foot radius. I'm gonna cast silence. So if they can make it there, nobody will hear him.
Okay. All right. Stealth checks.
Oh shit.
I don't think you realize that you ended up with 2 people in wizard's robes, and those things are big and like not made for that. It's for sneaking.
So Dragthar and Violet, you guys stand up,
I have
and
hooves, for God's sake.
as both of you stand up, immediately one of the Goliaths sees you guys pop out from behind the crates, and he just says, who goes over there?" And they kind of start running towards you. Are you guys running or engaging?
So
I'm gonna cast message and say run.
so I'm gonna grab Violet by the arm as we run. Well, presuming you're willing for this.
Of course.
So and approach. We're gonna run directly towards the orc, or the Goliath, whichever you said was coming.
Okay.
Oh shit.
But as let's see, I want to make sure also. So as I do so, keep at least 15 feet between myself and Audubon. Or myself, Violet, and
That is pretty much impossible for you to do deliberately since you can't see him.
okay. Well, at this point we've been seen anyway, so I know Violet's told me he's in the room, so I'll just, Audubon, stay 15 feet away.
Okay.
As we run towards the orc, as we get within 10 feet of it, teleport Violet along with me with a thunder step. So at what point would we have met the orc? I can draw the line for the...
Okay. So they are running to you this way. So if you guys are running...
Oh, okay, I thought they were running. Sorry, my bad. I was still on the red circles. I forgot they went around that way.
Yeah, sorry. I tried to find the layer that they're drawn on, and I can't freaking find it, so... There we go. I found it.
Okay. So yeah, not directly towards them, I guess, but kind of... if I can... Oh, I can't get a hold of my token here.
If you zoom in, it makes it easier.
Gotcha. There we go. Okay, so kind of like so. And then... Why is it not showing me the... Oh, there's the distance. So... That will take us to there. It's a 90-foot
cool.
teleport.
Oh, nice. Okay, so you grab Violet's hand, and both of you teleport.
Yeah, and that'll be a spell slot. As we teleport, anything within 10 feet of me needs to make a con save.
Okay. And that Goliath is charging towards you, so it would be one Goliath, I think.
Okay.
He said he needs to make a Constitution save.
Yes.
Oh, he rolled a 20.
Oh, okay. Well, that's still gonna be half damage.
Okay.
On 3d10.
Okay. I wish that I could make these rolls visible to you guys after I roll it.
I'll take your word for it.
I want to turn the... I accidentally turned off show GM rolls.
Oops. So that's 9 thunder damage to it. And
Okay.
then Violet and I teleport to the end of this line here.
Okay.
I want to take a moment to do something as soon as we get there.
Okay.
Okay.
I'm gonna cast Agnazar's Scorcher, which makes a 30-foot line of fire in the door. I want to put it in the doorway, because I know invisibility lasts a bit. Audubon's likely to be fine comparatively to us.
Okay.
So, there's nothing in the doorway yet, currently, so we probably don't need to do the dex save, but basically I want to put down a line of fire so they can't follow us.
Oh, okay.
Does
Are
I
you,
have a
so
question?
go ahead.
Does Audubon have to make a saving throw?
No.
Why would he?
That will depend on whether Audubon was within 10 feet of me when that went off.
I don't think I was, because I was sort of at the front of the little circle there when I saw Violet, and I'm just trying to get like you guys out of the door. So I'm about like right here,
Where's right here?
and how
Move
do
your
I make a
token.
little?
Just move your
Where's
token.
my token?
It's down.
Okay, I need to
down there.
zoom up. Oh, yeah, like stayed kind of in this spot.
Yeah,
Once
then
they left.
you were nowhere within range of having to make a save for what I did then.
Yeah, hopefully I don't get freaking fried by Violet. But I'm invisible. That's part of the. That's one of the hazards.
Okay, and these guys have come running. They've run into your area of silence.
Alright, like I said, Agnazar's Scorcher, I want to, like, hit the,
So if you cast that like right there, like across this hallway.
it
Crosses.
crosses 30 feet, so I could
Okay.
just, like, block off the doorway.
Okay, cool. All right, and with that, it is now 10 o'clock. Do you guys want to call it here and pick it up next time? Or are you guys all good to keep going?
This does seem
Good
like a
to
really
keep going.
good stopping
I
point,
think-
honestly.
Okay.
Just from, like, a
Yeah,
story.
I think if we all can't continue, then this is a good point.
Okay. Yeah, I just it should be noted that I will not be available the next 2 weeks after this.
Oh shit, I forgot about that.
Okay.
I'll be in Montana.
Play for
Are you gonna
Montana.
Are you gonna raise yourself a crop of dental floss?
I know. I'm not growing any dental floss. I'll be wakeboarding
Are you gonna meet Hannah?
off of rope.
Are you gonna meet Hannah?
For context, there was a very silly musician, and he wrote a song about moving to Montana and raising up a crop of dental floss.
Oh.
Oh. Well, there you go.
All right. Well, I guess if we're going to call it here, then I'll go ahead and say goodbye to everybody on the stream. Thanks for watching. And we are to tune in tomorrow. We're going to do the first episode of Arcana at 1 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And Bunsen and I and anyone else who wants to show up, we'll see you then. Thanks, guys.
See ya.
Goodbye.
See ya.